beautiful morning to you once again. And as we go on today's episode on family values, in-law drama. Is it really in-law drama? But that's what the Gen Z will call it, in-law drama. Oh my God! How do you set healthy boundaries to avoid in-law drama, episode, season? What else? You have season, you have episodes. What
We
else?
have toxicity. Yeah, that too.
Episode, no, season one now. We're doing season one today. Season one.
Yeah.
How to avoid in-law drama when it comes to creating healthy boundaries.
Mm.
And to discuss this with us will be none other than Clara Moronayo Oladipo. She is a marriage coach and a visionary of Triumphant Marriage Ministry. Can we have our guests this morning as we discuss this topic? It's so good to see
Oh my
Moronayo.
goodness, she's
Okay.
so
It's
pretty.
so good to have you this morning. I love the fact that
Good
you're
morning.
just,
Good morning.
sitting down there waiting for us
Good
to
Mm-hmm.
morning.
discuss
My Claire.
all the bullets, and I'm sure you're going to guide us generously and with wisdom this morning. It's an honor to have you on Family and Values for the first time. Welcome to the show. Okay, now I want to ask creating healthy boundaries. What does it mean to create healthy boundaries? Is there any need for boundaries when it has to do with in-laws? So I have two questions. What does it mean to create healthy boundaries? And why do we need to create boundaries? Is there any need for us to create boundaries?
Thank you so much. Good morning. Thanks for having me again. It's not my first time. I've been with you before, and it's been a long time anyway. And straight to the question this morning: what does it mean by creating healthy boundaries? Yes, it's very necessary. It's even biblical. It's biblical for us to create boundaries. And why did I say so? Genesis 2:24 set it out since inception, the moment God created man and gave Eve to Adam. He said and he proclaimed, it is mandatory for a man to leave the father and the mother and cleave to the wife and become one flesh. That is boundary being created, not for separation from the family, but to create bond between the new couples, to create bond, to define that the marriage is as a new primary unit of a family, of a new family. And and to create bond above parents, to create bond between the husband and the wife, above siblings, above friends. And these set boundaries, is set against interferences from in-laws and from third parties. And the unique thing about it is that the Bible says a man should leave the father and the mother. These are the primary important people in the life of the husband and the wife. We are not saying leave them and then don't talk to them or don't have anything to do with them, but to create bond between the new family just starting up. To say to them that these two families are starting afresh and it is important. So from creation, that is the boundary being set by God. And the next question now is this: why create boundaries? If I'm correct, is that it? Can you come again on the second one?
Yeah, why create boundaries? Yes.
Reason the Lord said we should create boundaries is for the new family to understand themselves, to start a new family, and to avoid interferences. Like the topic rightly said, dramas, in-laws drama, a lot of dramas. Some parents, they are so used to their sons, they don't want anybody to come in between them. They understand their son is getting married, but they still want to be the one dictating, doing all sorts, commanding, instructing, telling them, wanting to tell the husband or wanting to tell the wife to build their own new home, the way they build theirs. And they might not want it that way. And this is a new family just starting up. So boundaries is very necessary. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much for your response. But right now, we're trying to, in as much as we're trying to provide solutions to this, we are trying to also prevent it from happening. So right now, what are these early signs to detect that your in-laws are overstepping, so you can actually create the boundaries on time? Because we don't want to get remedies, we want to get preventions first. So it's easy, or it's better to early detect these signs. So either a partner, or maybe your partner, your husband, family is overstepping. It's easy for you to dictate that, oh, they're overstepping, so he can create the boundaries on time. So what are these early signs, clear signs that, oh, my in-laws are overstepping and I need to create boundaries?
Okay, this sometimes they can be detected, but we're not taking cognizance of it. Most of the time we overlook it because we're not living to cleave. It happened to me. I remember when I got married initially. Our last born, my parents had our last born when I was in the uni. So I'm so used to her that we're everywhere together. And even when we were cutting with my husband, then he later told me that there was a rumor that our last born was my child. And so that's how close we were. And when we got married, she followed me, our last born to the last born, followed me to my husband's house. And at that point, I remember one night my husband was saying, oh, when is she going to go back? I'm like, go back to where? I didn't realize it that we have to be together and I have to return her back home. So early detection will help. They could come and spend weekend, but when it's interfering, at that point, and I realized that her being with us was interference into the relationship. My husband was not free. And because I was used to her, like even early part of going to hospital and treatment and all that, assisting my mom as the firstborn child, I was assisting and I got carried away. So at that point, that was him telling me we should set boundaries. So that's a practical example. And sometimes at a point as well, there was the brother that was with him, or like my in-laws were like my next door neighbors. So like my sister-in-law was living next door. So my husband's siblings too were with her. And so we were like into each other. And when it was becoming too much, we have to start saying, we need to set boundaries. We need to set limitation to how everybody is coming into the house. So when you see people coming in and out, there's no limit. Sometimes they'll come from the next compound to come and have breakfast, or they come from the next place to come and have lunch and all that. So when it's becoming too much for you and you're seeing it, is either you change, relocate, or you set physical boundaries to say, you know what, this is it. And I remember, our parents as well, they visit and they go. For us, interference from in-laws like mother, father was not too much, but from siblings, it was a bit much. So when you start saying that, maybe your spouse is pointing you to a particular situation about your sisters, your siblings, we should know that this is time to set boundaries. It's not finding it easy again to be free at home or to be free with you. That's one of the situations where you have to start setting boundaries.
Thank you so much, Clara. I want to find out, how can couples actually present a united front when it seems things are not going the way they expected it? Sometimes as couples, your family so well, coming together, when one of your aunties can come and be in trouble to your wife.
Yeah.
Because you understand your wife and you also grew up with that auntie. And this particular auntie is coming for an event, maybe a family event, and definitely you will come across her. There is no way you can avoid her. And you know the kind of wife you have as well, because you understand her. And you will want to like take a guide to protect yourself. I mean yourselves, as in the husband and the wife, from this particular auntie and a scenario, or an uncle. It could be an uncle too, so you can come from both sides. So how can couple present a united front when dealing with difficult in-laws behavior? It may come from, this your wife says, she not meet our standard, where you take catch up. She may be coming, she may be putting it in a sarcastical way, but you understand and you know where she's going, and you know your wife will not tolerate that, may not be able to stomach it. How do you now take a front? How do you guard yourself and protect yourself from in-laws like this?
Okay, the advice I will give in that regard is that it is very important for husband and wife to understand each other and to know themselves. That unity, one unit front is very important as a couple. And when you understand yourselves and you talk over these issues, because it won't be the first time. The very first time issues comes up like that, maybe with an auntie or with an uncle from the other side or from each other part. You need to talk about it. After talking about it, you now know how to present it. For example, if your wife, if your brother-in-law is reporting your wife, the responsibility of the husband is to say, you know what, I understand what she's saying, just leave it, let me handle it, I will handle it. So by the time you tell your brother or your sisters, maybe junior or senior sister, that you know what, don't worry, I will handle the situation. You'll be able to cover her in that aspect. And you want to hear from your wife what is actually the situation, because some in-laws, they lie a lot. They lie a lot. They form stories. You can never. I remember growing up, my mom with my aunties and my father's siblings, I could hear her saying, there's no way you can please husband's family. There's no way you can satisfy them. And so all you need to do is to be diplomatic and just, walk around them, make sure you are keeping the home front, make sure you're not at loggerhead with them. And so going into my own marriage,
Come back.
Oh, please.
Oh, no. Going into my own marriage. Come back. Let's see you. Moralayo, really? No, don't tell me that. Really? Seriously?
We need you back on.
Oh.
She's gone again. Oh my goodness. Oh.
Okay, so going into my own marriage, that was where you stopped. Let's continue from there.
Yes, going to my own marriage, I grew up in a situation or an environment where my mom was like calling in-laws as, you call them with respect, with Yoruba culture. You call them aunties, you call them, funny names, Baba, Okomi, Okoyawo, teacher, and all that. But when I got married to my husband, he was saying to me, I should only call the senior sister auntie. Every other person, I should call them by their name. And because, of course, we grew up in an environment where everybody is free. Well, that was a mistake for me, because I remember one day my mother-in-law confronted me and like, why will you be calling your in-laws by name? I'm like, oh, that's what my husband said to me. I should call the senior sister auntie. Every other person, I should call them by their name because I'm older than them. She now went further to say, so they didn't train you from home. If he should tell you that, why didn't you change this? And like, to me, obedience is key. I needed to obey my husband. And that's why I did that. And, but I corrected myself. So I now be calling uncle this, uncle that, just to create peace, because I have to be balanced up. I have to obey my mother-in-law as well. And I have to, at the same time, respect my husband. So drama comes up like that. But when I was accosted with that, I have to talk to my husband and say, you know what, just for peace to reign, let's just do it this way. It is me. Let me face them. I'll just call them auntie this, pastor this, brother this, uncle this, Manke. I remember calling one of my brother-in-law Manke. He's Kunle, I call him Manke. The other one I call pastor and all that. Just to, set peace at home and for you to save your head. Do you understand? And so things like that, if you don't use wisdom and understand yourself within your as with your spouse, it could cause problem, it could cause quarrel and all that. There's no way you can satisfy them. You just have to play along and make sure there is peace across board. But in doing that, some of them are not even satisfied.
Thank you so much for your response. Now I'm going to ask you another question in a different angle. This might seem very funny, but we really need solutions because I'm really against this one. How do we deal, please help us, how do we deal with mommy's boy and daddy's girl in marriage? Because it's almost like a
mommy's boy, because there's no mommy's boy when you're getting married. Your name ought to have your nickname, or your alias need to have changed. A boy cannot get married.
Yeah, that's the typical way it's meant to be. But me saying mommy's boy is in the sense that a man that answers to his mom, even with the fact that he's still married.
The Gen Z is asking you questions.
Yeah, it takes
you have to help us.
Yes, it takes decisions, or whatever his mom says is final, even in his home. He doesn't listen to his wife. He doesn't even have a mind of his own. All he wants to listen to.
Take it to mommy.
Mommy this, mommy that. So how can they deal with this? Because in as much as we're trying to like make the marriage work, you cannot detach a mother from a son. You cannot detach a son from a mother. So what's the wise thing to do? How do we address this for the sake of those listening that are in this particular situation?
Okay. The Bible says a wise woman builds her home, and it's not just that. Yes, we need to be wise. We need to be wise because either you are a Gen Z or you are not Gen Z. Sooner or later, you will become a mother. You become a mother-in-law as well. So you need to be wise in handling that situation. Do you understand? If your husband is a mommy's boy, you have entered. Wisdom is profitable to direct. All you need to do is, whenever he's saying anything, just take it on board, but with wisdom. You know, the problem most of the women have in their marriages is that when your husband is bringing up an idea, or okay, let me say it this way. If you're to this level, when your husband is talking, for example, me, if my husband should say anything, I know this is my husband speaking. If he has taken counsel from a friend or from someone, I know. So what I do in such situation, or what I expect you to do, is that at that moment when he's talking and you have that wisdom that this is not my husband's idea, this is somebody's idea, just take it. There's no need for you to argue. If you argue, if you are confrontational from the beginning and you are saying no outrightly, or you are throwing the decision away, that's going to be a problem. The first thing to do is to take it on board. Okay, I understand what you are saying. I'm taking it for what you are saying, but just give me some time to think about it. If it has to be a decision that you have to act on immediately, tell him to give you some minutes. Go back to your closet, get busy like you are doing something, think about it properly, and come back to marry it with your own idea to say, okay, this is what you've said, this is what you've said, even though you know it's not his decision. Okay, you have a little tweak to it. Fine, we're doing it this way. Can we just add a little of this to it? But if it doesn't work that way and they throw it overboard and they want it the exact way they wanted it, or they have been advised to do it, allow it to go. Allow it to go. Most of the time, it will go wrong and they will come back to you. And when they come back to you, don't throw it at their face that, you know what, maybe I said it. No, just said, okay, no problem. Because they have come back to you, you now have to advise and do it your own way. And you will see that there will be less trouble in the house. As a woman, you need to be very wise. You need to know your husband very well. That is what God has helped me to do. You need to know when he's speaking. You need to know when he's not the one speaking. You need to know the voice of the mother. You need to know the voice of the sister, because they are very close. And because you two, you are knitted to him. And so it is very important for you to understand your husband. And as a husband, it is very important for you to understand your wife so that your voice, his voice, will be known. The voice of somebody speaking through him, you'll be able to identify. The Bible says the sheep understand the voice of his shepherd. And so he's your shepherd. You should understand his voice because you are the sheep following him.
Thank you so much for that. Okay, you need to understand the voice of your shepherd, which is the head of the family. Okay, the woman is not the head of the family.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. As a wife, you need to have a certain level of wisdom. You don't have to be defensive or throw shades because trying to prove a point, like she said. But let me create a scenario. In cases whereby you are going to make a decision, you're about to make a decision that has to do with the lives of your child, about to pay the fees of your children, and your mother-in-law comes in like, Okomi, your daughter, your sister is going to serve and she needs a certain amount of money to get accommodation, and me myself, I need to travel for a wedding and I don't want to go by road, I want to take a flight. And between you and your husband, you know that the only resources you have right now is to pay for the fees of your children. But because his mother came in to tender a request, he leaves your child and goes to his mom and pays for that. For peace of mind. Leaving out his own child. This is a certain level of mommy's boyish. I don't know if that's correct, but let me just say it like that. That level of mommy's boyish. So what would the wife do in this scenario? Because trust me, she's not going to be wise at that moment. She's not going to be calm. She's going to go gospel gangster. What do you mean? My child's school fees to your mom's responsibility or your parents' responsibility. This is your new home now. This is what you are meant to deal with, not theirs. You can only support, but not. I don't know what you think about this particular scenario. Please help us.
Okay, that's a very good scenario you have painted there. But what I'm going to do first is to define boundaries. Boundaries in marriage relating to in-laws refer to the limits and expectations that a couple set to maintain a healthy and a harmonious relationship with their in-laws. That a couple set to maintain a healthy, harmonious relationship with their in-laws. These boundaries can help prevent conflicts, protect the marriage, and promote mutual respect. Remember, we're setting boundaries to prevent conflicts, protect the marriage, and to promote mutual respect. Look, there's always a first time in a situation. For me, the way I will advise you, because we need to protect the marriage, bring about respect, mutual respect, and to prevent conflicts. There's always a first time for a situation. And because I already know my husband is a mommy's boy, for me, what I would do at that time, because what he said is he has gone to give them the money for flights and for whoever is going to NYSC. He has done that. Coming back to me now, and I said to him, you know what? We need to set things straight. We need to put first thing first. You, myself, and my children, we are the priority first. Every other person comes after. Especially when it comes to your children's school fees. Okay, you've got to put the money now for this. What do we do concerning my children? How do we go about solving this matter? I will not bail him out. I will not go to say I want to cover the situation. I will allow him to see the situation for himself so that he will practically reason with me and learn his lessons. So that by next time he will know how to come to me, or how we have to put it on the table together, discuss it, and say, okay, what do we do? Because he's a mommy's boy, he didn't seek my opinion first. He didn't ask me, oh, wifey, do you have an alternative for us? This is what I have this budget for. But this is what mom is saying. How do we go about it? Since he didn't do that, he didn't ask me, I'll just allow him be. And I'll be on him, please, can you pay my children's school fees? And if, of course, I know it's not forthcoming, I'll ensure he goes to the school, let him go and talk to them in school, arranging how he will make the payments. But as much as possible, I will not take that embarrassment, even though I'm the one doing the school run. So with wisdom and systematically, I'll put him on the spot concerning my child, so that by next time, he wouldn't want to go and face such an embarrassment again. And I won't allow him to push me to go and face them. So doing that will help, because you don't want to, the first thing you need to remember is you need to have peace in your own marriage. Most of this in-law saga bring discord between the husband and the wife. And as a Gen Z wife, that you know you want to enjoy your husband 24/7, because the regime of your in-laws have gone. This is your own regime. You need to be wise. You see, that thing called wisdom is very, very important. And most of the challenges we have in marriage these days with this, it's not even the Gen Zs, from our generation to the Gen Z generation, is because we don't have patience. And even me, as a marriage counselor that I'm talking now, I learned through the course of time, through experience. You will learn. You will learn. You will learn. And the fact that somebody, there's no two kind of marriage. You cannot say because my friend did this to the in-law and she got away with it. You cannot try it with your own mother-in-law or sister-in-law or brother-in-law. You just have to use wisdom for you to have peace and establish and keep the relationship between you and your husband going, making sure there's no problem in the house. Because when they come with their booga and they get money and they go, it's left between you and your husband and the children.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Clara Morolayo Oladipo. Okay, finally, we need you to advise our young ones. Situations where there is intrusion and your partner, it seems like your partner is not standing up for you. What should they do? Let's use that as a parting word this morning. What will be your advice to those young couples who believe their partner is not standing up for them? Just like she's talking about the mommy's boy. What should they do? We need your advice on this as we round off this morning.
Okay, the advice I will have for the Gen Zs and for everybody out there is that patience is very key. And as much as possible, let's walk in love. Let's walk in love. In-laws are they are people we cannot do away with, and at the same time they are families. So we need to have patience with them, and we need to have wisdom. Try as much as possible to walk in love. They hurt us a lot. They do a lot of things to us. And the funniest thing is, some of them, they in their own family, what they are doing to you, they can't even take it from their own family. That the families they get married to, they can't take it, but they'll be giving it back to us. So at that point, just be patient with them, walk in love. Let situation arise, and don't fight for yourself. Let it practically happen. Put your husband on the spot. Let them see where things are being done, so that he himself will be able to see situation for himself and be able to say, if I could have done this way, I could have reacted this way, I could have reacted this way, but I just want to be myself, proving to you that I'm not the trouble one. I'm not the troublesome one. They are the one always bringing trouble for me. Do you understand? And that will really help you. I know it's not easy. I know it's difficult. It's easier said than done, because you'll be wondering why are they like this to me? Especially the sisters-in-law. The sisters-in-law, what they do to us, it can only be God that will help us. So just pray as much as possible, and be patient, and just allow things to be. Not going beyond board that's going to be inconveniencing you. When it's getting to that time that it's inconveniencing you, try to look for a good time to talk to your husband about it. Let him know how you are feeling, and let him advise him. If you can take advice from the sister or brother or from the mother, you should be able to take advice from you to say, what, why don't you turn things around? If I'm the one doing this to your people, how will you feel? How can they be doing this to me? try as much as possible to, walk in love, make sure you are at peace with them, and try to explain things to your husband. Whatever it is that they do to you, explain to your husband. Let him understand. He might take it, he might not take it. But when you're always coming up with issues, scenarios of whatever they have done, one day he will register to his head that this woman has been, talking to me about these people's behavior. In fact, let a situation arise that he will see it. Let them play it to his face. Let him be there the way they are talking to you, and let him see it for himself. You'll be able to see his reaction. Then if he's not, fighting for you, you can now, bring it up with him personally. I won't take it again. Allow them to go. Then you now face him and say, I won't take it again. I won't allow this in my house again. Whenever they come to my house again and they do this, I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that. Let him understand that. And God will help in Jesus' name.
Okay, I hope you will not see it as a threat. Thank you so much, Clara Morolayo Oladipo. She is a marriage counselor and also a marriage coach, and also visionary of Triumphant Marriage Ministry. Thank you so much for joining us this morning discussing in-law dramas. In-laws drama. Trying to create your own healthy boundary. It's so honored for us to have you. Thank you. Hope to see you again soon, because you disappeared for so long. So I have to welcome you again. I hope you are born again.
Thank you so much. Yes.
Family and value. Thank you so much. We miss you. Have a lovely and a splendid day. Bye for now.
Bye.
Okay, so at Papalo, you heard it.
Yes, I did.
You have it.
Mm-hmm.
So experience is what matters.
Yeah.
It's not easy. I tell you. I don't think I had. How difficult is it for me? I don't even get time to visit me, but I don't get brother anyway. But even uncles, I don't think I have the time to be wondering in trying to check on you. I don't have that time. I don't have that time. So, like Moralia said, most times you have issues with the sister-in-law, and you're like, are they not going to get married? Are they not married? How did they manage to, to go through this kind of headache they try to bring to their sister-in-law? Sometimes it's not just about the mother-in-law. Yeah. It's also about the sister-in-laws. And sometimes a little bit from the brother-in-law as well. The in-law drama. How well are you keeping up? Patience, wisdom is what you need. You cannot pray they should not be there. They will be there, because you also want to pray to be there for your children, your niece, your nephew, in future. So if you are praying, you are not going to have one. You are missing yourself.
Yeah. So what I would say is the mommy's boy syndrome. The mommy's boy syndrome is less traumatic with a kind and chalant man. Like she said, you should be able to call your husband into your space, into your chamber, and talk to him, and he would listen. Yeah, but if it's with a nonchalant man, double wahala. So know who you're with.
If it's the kind of man that doesn't have time to listen.
Yeah.
And I expect you to know that I will not tolerate any unnecessary sitting down and side talk from my brother and my sister about you. Please, if you know you are that kind of person's partner, you have to be tolerant.
Very tolerant.
You have to pray for that.
And very prayerful.
Divine tolerance, prayerfulness, and concentration on your family. So that when you pray, God will give you wisdom. When you pray, God will help you. When you pray, God will advance certain things for you. And you will also be able to understand from your inner mind, I want my peace. Not carry your one and please, tolerance, it's very good. It will help you. After a while, you become the witch in the house. Good witch, not a bad one.
Yes, a good one. Thank you so much to everyone listening. And my parting words to anyone listening right now and was a part of the show is for you to understand your partner. Be very careful, be watchful, watch out for things you know that you cannot deal with. So it's easy for you to move out that's when you're courting before going into marriage. For the singles out there, this is the time for you to watch and pick someone you can actually deal with. There are so many sweet mommy's boy out there that are actually kind, that you can actually deal with them, their excesses. But when you know you can't deal with this particular person's excesses, don't overlook things that you are not meant to, and just move. If it's not going to work, it's not going to work. There's no need to force anything. Do you understand? Thank you so much for joining us on this program. It was really, really an amazing time with Mama Gen Z, and I'm amazing, beautiful guest. See you same time, same station tomorrow. My name is Clash Chudimokwede, your Gen Z host. Goodbye.
Okay, tomorrow is going to be creating a strong support system. Creating a strong support system. How well do you think this can work out for you in your work, your career, your business, your home, in that relationship, in that marriage, in that courtship? How well do you think you can create that before marriage, after you're married, and maybe we'll be talking more about that tomorrow. Be